The Last Matinee is a homage to Giallo films. It is an Argentinian film. Now, I really wanted to check out this movie because it is homage to slasher Giallo films, and that's what really interested me. But this movie was a bit of a letdown. I want to tear this movie apart, I'm sorry. So this takes place in the 90s. It takes place at a horror film in a small independent cinema. So we're focusing on the projectionist's daughter, who is there to take over for her father so he can go home and rest because he's not well. She's going to study and do her homework. There's another employee. There's an old man. There's a trio of drunk kids, a couple having a date, a couple other people in the theater too. And basically, a mysterious gloved killer shows up and locks everyone in, and he wants to kill everyone. Problem is, this movie is so slow and boring, and just there's a lot of like dumb moments too. I don't know if they're trying to homage like the bad storytelling that sometimes happens in Giallo, but you can still avoid those things and not insult the audience by trying to mask it and say, oh well, I'm keeping in tune with the classic movie by having stupid stuff happen. No, you don't have to have that. You can better yourself. You can homage something and still be a good movie. So the reason why this movie fails for me is because the opening kill is great and it's the best kill of the movie. There's only 2 kills that are really great. Everything else is boring. And we don't get our first kill till 15 minutes in, and then we don't get a kill for every 15 minutes. So by the movie's half over and only 3 people are dead. And by the time the characters in the movie theater figure out that there's a killer, it's been an hour. You spend a whole hour, like, I don't know about you, but if I'm sitting in a theater and I notice people standing around, walking around, you sort of notice and go like, ugh, what is that happening over there? You don't notice that someone's getting stabbed in the face, like the theater's not that big. But then after they find out that the killer's like after them, there's a lot of like lame-ass chasing, and the killer, he's very ineffective. They like push him down and they hit him over the head with an extinguisher and knock him out. And it happens multiple. And then the worst scene for me is that the one girl panics. She grabs a fire extinguisher. She throws it through the glass booth where the phone and the tickets are, the money's kept. And she accidentally destroys the only phone. Like, what are the chances of you just throwing a random fire extinguisher at a glass booth and nailing the only phone? Like, they could have just written that the killer destroyed the phone first and then went after them. That was just really bad writing. And it happens again, too, because the killer, every time they knock out the killer, they just leave him. He gets up, he grabs his knife, he goes after them. There's another scene where basically he traps them again, and the one kid, like, dives under the guy's legs, and then the girl just runs around him. Like, he's such a terror. He's not like a small guy, he's like a wiry killer, he's like this vicious guy, and they're just running around him and stuff. It's just really terrible because I guess they didn't have enough story, so they just stalled for the first half of the movie by having a lot of talking scenes. There's so much talking in this movie, whether it just be the teens talking or the couple having a date or this or that. The movie is just trying to stall to get to that 90 minutes run time, and then the ending happens and then just it's over. So it was a good attempt. I really liked those 2 kills, but the rest of the movie is trash. It's one thing to be a homage to something that you really like, but you also have to be a good movie on your own right, and this movie is not. So I give it a 3 out of 10.